In Saudi Arabia, a strange event recently took place, which is considered one of the most important signs of the Day of Judgment. This strange sign of the Day of Judgment is mentioned in the collection of hadiths, Sahih Muslim, in the chapter on the End of Times, chapter on the Day of Judgment. It is reported that the mother of the believers, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, "I heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, say, the order of day and night will not cease, meaning the Day of Judgment will not occur until people return to worship of idols." When the polytheists of Mecca abandoned the religion of Ibrahim and set up hundreds of their own idols, 3 of them were most important, and they were called Lat, Manat, and Uzza. Let us remember that the polytheists of Mecca were not disbelievers, but idolaters. They believe in Allah, performed the tawaf around Kaaba, but they also worshipped these 3 female deities, calling them the daughters of Allah. They also used them as intermediaries to Allah and made sacrifices in their names. These idols represented the 3 famous sorceresses from Arabia, whose forms and names serve as a basis for this idolatrous practice. Even inside the Kaaba, they placed these idols, and during the tawaf, the polytheists would invoke their names. The largest idol, Hubal, was worshipped as an image of Allah, symbolizing divine presence. A total of 360 idols were placed inside the Kaaba. Their logic was similar to that of people today who worship graves. They believe that by going to graves, they can seek intercession from a respected deceased person for their prayer to reach Allah. They believed that deceased people in the graves can carry their prayers to Allah as intermediaries. Some misguided Muslims even performed prostration before these graves, as if these deceased people were deities. However, Allah the Almighty says repeatedly in the Quran that prayers must be directed to Him alone, without any intermediaries. This direct prayer is called Tawahid, the oneness of God. The polytheists of Mecca also believed that these 3 goddesses possess different powers, similar to how in Hinduism there is a god for every divine power. Today, those who worship graves do similar things, believing that certain deceased sheikhs or elders have special powers. For example, the goddess Lat was especially worshipped by the members of the Banu Taif tribe, who lived in the city of Taif. They considered her the goddess of peace, fertility, and weather, and prayed to her before setting out on journeys. They made sacrifices to her and sought for help. After the conquest of Mecca, her temple was destroyed. The goddess Manat was considered the goddess of fate, wealth, and time, and she was worshipped by the tribes of Aus, Khazraj, and many others in Medina. After the conquest of Mecca, the Prophet, peace be upon him, sent Said ibn Zaid with 20 horsemen to destroy her largest temple in the valley of Qudama. At that place, a black woman tried to stop them, but she was killed, and the temple was destroyed. The goddess Uzza was regarded as the goddess of strength, protection, offspring, beauty, emotions, and love. The polytheists of Mecca invoked her in battles after Hubal. She was a real sorceress who lived in the valley of Nakhlah, where the jinn is also accepted Islam in the hands of the Prophet, peace be upon him. The satanic jinn would enter the idol of Uzza and emit sounds from it, confusing and misleading people. The Prophet, peace be upon him, sent Khalid ibn Walid with 30 horsemen to destroy her temple and kill her. After he returned, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Uzza would never again be worshipped on Arab soil. Sheikh Usman ibn Farouk, a Pakistani-American Islamic scholar known for debates with Christians and the atheists, recently made a shocking claim. He said that we are already so close to the Day of Judgment, but no one is talking about it. I could never have imagined that this sign would be fulfilled in our time. The sign shocked me more than anything else. Sheikh Usman claims that the worship of Lat and Manat has resumed on Arab soil. He personally saw pictures of people who keep statues of Lat and Manat in their homes and pray to them. Although the number of such people is still small, he says that this process has started, just as the Prophet, peace be upon him, said. Sheikh Usman says that this might sound like a rumor or a public stunt, but it is real. What shocked Sheikh Usman was the news from December 2023, which reported that some of people in Saudi Arabia are demanding that the idols of Lat, Manat, and Uzza be restored as a part of historical heritage to promote tourism. 10 years ago, no one could have imagined that the Saudis would demand to return these idols from pre-Islamic period, but today they are doing so under the pretext of historical preservation. This is a sign that liberal influences in Saudi Arabia have led to these changes. Another sign of Day of Judgment is the reconstruction of Temple of Dhu Iklasa, known as the Yemeni Kaaba. This temple was worshipped by the women of the Banu Dos tribe, who lived in the south of Mecca in the region of Yemen. This temple was known for idolatry and prostitution. The Prophet, peace be upon him, sent Jarir ibn Abdullah to destroy this temple. It was difficult to destroy this temple because it was made of large stones that required 40 people to carry them. After the conquest, Jarir offered the people the choice of Islam or war, and some accepted Islam and many were killed. However, the Prophet, peace be upon him, predicted that the women of the Banu Dos tribe would once again worship these idols before the Day of Judgment. This means that the old customs of idolatry will be revived before the Day of Judgment, even though these practices were temporarily destroyed. In modern history, at the end of the 19th century, the worship of idols, trees and remnants of the temple of Dhu Iklasa began again. King Abdulaziz had to send the military to suppress these practices. Today, even though the idols may not be restored in their original form, they could be brought back as a part of historical heritage or for tourism purposes. These events indicate that we are very close to fulfillment of these signs of the Day of Judgment. The conclusion is that we are living in the end of times and witnessing the signs of the Day of Judgment being fulfilled before our eyes. It is our duty to return to Allah, understand these signs, and prepare for what is to come. May Allah guide us and grant us the opportunity to do good deeds. I hope this video was being informative and interesting for you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. See you soon in another interesting video. Until then, take care. Thank you for watching.